What's going on YouTube? Welcome to All Things Nerdy, where I bring you all things nerdy. And we're going to be doing a Let's Play for Pillars of Eternity, a very awesome game I found in the Steam game list section. It's a game primarily funded through Kickstarter. About, I think over 70,000 people helped fund it. It was 90, I think they said 98% funded through Kickstarter, so that's really awesome. This is a example of a successful game being funded through Kickstarter and being a quality game. It's a RPG, story-heavy focused game, single player. I think there's a couple people trying to put mods out to add a multiplayer function to it, but it's mainly single player. We're going to get into it and show it to you. I do have to apologize. Hopefully, I already tested it out and didn't hear too much, but if there's a ever silent moment, you'll be able to hear my air conditioner. It is hot as heck. I couldn't bear it between these lights I have on, take the green screen out and everything going on with the weather. I had to turn the AC on, so I apologize if you can hear and it's bothering you. Going forward, we shouldn't have it on, but I just had to. On top of, I'm being a little lazy. I got off of work. I'm wearing my glasses. I don't have my contacts in. Just threw a t-shirt on, glasses. So there might be a little bit of glare because of those. I apologize. I'm looking into other options. I'm just being lazy tonight. I just wanted to get this going. It's a really awesome game. I hope you stick around and check it out. If not, fast forward and at least look at what the gameplay is like, so it could possibly be something you add to your game list. So let's get in here. Oop, nope. We hit continue. Didn't mean to hit continue. So we're going to have to exit out. This is picking up off the last game I played. I've got about maybe 20 minutes into my own personal game. I wanted to check it out and make sure it was something that, recording worthy, something I could upload and do a Let's Play on. It's definitely worth a Let's Play. It's a very interesting game and it has a lot of story and RPG elements to it. As you can see here, this is the main game, but we're going to exit out. Give you a little taste there. Let's get into a new game here. We're going to go on hard. You can micromanage your people. You saw a little bit there. You have a party kind of system, classes and whatnot. It's a fantasy game, very similar to Baldur's Gate if you ever played that. If not, you'll see it's very polished Baldur's Gate if you have played it. You can micromanage your people. So if you have a big fight going on, you can choose to roll through and just let things happen in real time and give orders that way. Or you can micromanage it, pause it, give each person orders, set them in positions, whatever you like to do. But we're going to play on hard here. And actually, I need to turn my headphones on. Let's do that really quick. Let me grab those. There we go. All right. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt. Turning on the headphones. All right. So, shh, quiet time. I gotta keep hydrated, right? Brought to you by water, the thing you're made up of. So we'll get here into a character creation system, pretty extensive. Like I said, this game was backed between Kickstarter and the publisher's funding that they had put into it. Really awesome that so many people put money into this. Like I said, it's a very polished game, new age game. It came out, I believe, April or May. But obviously here you have your male and female, very stereotypical in that sense, unless they had a third gender they created. I couldn't see anything else being put in here. But one thing I like is everything in this game they put you into the world. You know, this is a world they created, and to do that, they had to create something for everything. So they tell you exactly the men in this world. They tell them what they do in the society and cultures. Females, same exact way. It gets you a sense, put your mind in the game a little bit better. For those of you who really like a good story, rich kind of game. So we're gonna go with a male. They have all these different races. You have your human. They have the Amua, which are kind of an aquatic. Live by the waters, on boats, sort of thing. Each race has a sub race. You know, you have your human, you have your ocean folk, the meadow folk, the savannah. The Amua, you have your island or the coastal. Then we have our dwarfs, and with each race you have a stat system. There's a stat system in this game that behind the flash and graphics is a coded system with numbers. So when you're that character swinging a sword, there's kind of an equation formulating that's going to determine whether or not that you hit. You know, very similar to Pathfinder, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, just in a video game format. So if we play a dwarf, we do get a +2 to our might, which is our strength. We lose dexterity, but we also gain constitution. With the Amua, we get a +2 to our might, and our humans, we get a +1 to our might, or +1 to our, and a +1, not an or. Let's see what else we have here. We have our elves. The elf we have is the pale elf, which is kind of your dark, evil kind of elves. And then you have your wood elf, basic. You have your Orlan. They're kind of your goat, wood folk, or woodland realm kind of folk. And then we have the godlike, fantastically awesome race. The godlike have several different sub races. This is the nature, so they've got their horns. They're kind of a woodland feel to them. You have the moon. They look pretty different. They're nifty looking. I like the effects on them. And each one has different abilities to them. You have the fire godlike. They look badass, right? That just looks awesome. And then lastly, you have death, which I don't really care for. The black kind of, I guess it would be black fire. Just it looks odd. I mean, I guess you don't have eyes, but in this world, you don't see a lot of the godlike, and we will come across a few of them, from what I understand. But we're gonna go a little stereotypical. We're gonna play an elf. We're gonna play a wood elf, and now we have our classes. There's a lot of classes. We're gonna do a quick rundown of them. We have your barbarian, a smash first, ask questions later. A chanter, who can be a melee or ranged class, but as they fight, they are chanting phrases that give passive effect to your party, and then after they've chanted so many phrases, they can use a couple spell-like abilities. The cipher, they build focus based on how many times they hit something or get hit. And as their focus bar builds up, they can use spell-like abilities based on kind of a soul or mind focus. And then we have our druids. They have a shape-shifting ability where they can turn into a creature, you know, like this monstrous bear-looking thing or a monstrous wolf thing. And they have kind of woodland realm type of spells available to them. And next we have is our fighter. The fighter is your main meat and potato kind of class, just a generic fighter. They're rough and gruff. They can take beating. They can give some back too. We have our monk. Monks build their abilities through what is called wounds in this game. Every time you get hit as the monk, you build a wound. You took damage, and then you can convert your wounds into these super powered kind of Super Saiyan attacks. You know, you've got your kung fu and stuff, which is, if you've played anything tabletop wise, you've had Dungeons and Dragons. This is kind of a stereotypical rundown for classes with a couple twists here and there. And next we have is our paladin. That's your God-fearing warrior class. You are very tanky. You're a tanky class but you also have some spell-like abilities, more divine focus, so you can do probably a little bit of healing, maybe some debuffs on enemies, or buffing your teammates. Then we have is a priest. They're a little bit more spell focused, but they have a lot of healing abilities given to them. Whew. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, you ever had that sneeze coming on and you can feel it? So you make the sneezing face trying to encourage you to come out. Anyway, so they can be a little bit of a tank. Not tank, but they can be a little bit of a melee class or ranged, depending on how you want to build them. Then we have a ranger. Rangers are interesting. They can be a melee class or a ranged class. Primarily, they're focused on your ranged shooting arrows, but they do come with an animal companion. This class is largely focused on that dual build. As you level your companion up. So I think you can get a wolf, a bear, a tiger, one or two other animal companions you can choose from. But that's pretty interesting. And then we have a rogue. Rogues have a lot of different abilities to help them be sneaky and jumping around, blinding enemies. But their main abilities in combat come with dealing sneak attack damage. And that's what they have labeled here: blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, stunned, or weakened. If your enemy has any of those, you get sneak attack, which basically triples your damage. So if you hit the person and they do 8 damage, instead of doing 8, you're going to do like 28. That sort of thing. And lastly here we have is our wizard. Spells. Arcane spells. Very simple. They have a lot of really awesome, interesting spells that make the wizard class really awesome to play. But we're going to go with a rogue. I thought I was going to do the ranger because I was an elf, didn't you? No, we're going to be a little stereotypical, but not completely. We're going to play a rogue, and with our abilities here, let me move my microphone out of the way. You're going to hear some bumping. Apologize. I'm going to move this off. Ooh, that was a big bump. That was horrible. Yeah, that's a lot better setup. Alright. Apologize for the noise there. With our abilities here, you start off with one ability at the beginning. We're going to go with Blind Strike. We can only use it once per encounter, but if the opponent's blinded, they have a lot less chance of hitting us. Right? Rogues, you think of stereotypical rogue. He's not wearing heavy armor. He's got to sneak around. He's wearing light armor. He's getting into it. So we're going to go with Blind Strike here. Crippling Strike. It's going to hobble our enemy, so we're still going to get our sneak attack damage, but they can still hit us. They just move slower. So we're going to go with Blind Strike. And then you have your attributes. These are how is your person made up. Might and Dexterity, the game is recommending heavily because those are what they think is going to be the most important things to our classes. Might is your ability to hit things hardly, how much damage when you hit. It builds your fortitude as well, so if something hits you and you have to do a fortitude, you walk into someplace and it smells bad, somebody threw up, your fortitude is your ability to withstand throwing up. That's the easiest way to explain that. And then we have our constitution. That also affects our fortitude, but the other thing it affects is our overall health. As a rogue, they're saying it's not as important, but it might be. Dexterity, hugely important. Two things it impacts in this game is your action speed. How fast are you able to attack? You're throwing punches a lot faster, and your reflex. Somebody shoots an arrow at you. Are you able to reflex and get out of the way? Then we have perception, noticing things. That also affects our reflex. You're walking around, you see a giant gem over there, but there's a little gold rock over there. Perception, you can get both of them, but most people are going to notice the big gem. If you have a high perception, you also notice the gold, so you have a better chance. Intellect, this is going to affect a few things. It's going to affect our will. Somebody casts a spell on us, our will is our defense to resist the spell. And our area of effect, if we have something that's going to do an area of effect, good or bad, the higher intellect we have will affect our radius for that. And then the last one here is resolve. Resolve goes for your will and deflection. Those are defenses of yours, but it also goes on your concentration, something more magic users use. If I'm trying to cast a spell, I need to concentrate. So we're going to put it, let's do 4 points into might. We'll actually take this up to a 16. Sounds good. We're not going to be wearing heavy armor, but we want high dexterity because we want to be able to jump out of the way, but we also want to be attacking fast. So, you know, actually, let's take this up to a 17. That'll give us 21% action speed. It's pretty high. Let's put 2 points into intellect. Let's take that up to a 13. And let's see here. This also has, these do have party affecting things, like as you're going along, it can affect your conversation. If I have a high intellect, I might think of something awesome to say, or if I have a high might, I might be able to intimidate somebody. So as a rogue, we're going to try and play, let's put it in our resolve. That also affects some conversation ability, leadership. So we'll go with that one there. Yeah, that's good. Culture, this is kind of the area you're from. We are looking out. It also affects what you're starting out with. It's your overall style. The white, let's go with the living lands. Let's go use this as our example. The white that wins, that's kind of your barbaric area. So we're starting out with a spear and, you know, barbaric looking clothing. As a rogue, that's probably not going to be our best bet. We're actually looking ahead. We're going to go start off with this one here. This is your sort of pirate infested lands, and no matter what you pick culture-wise, it's not going to completely affect the game, but it will have some repercussions. As you're playing through, somebody might notice, hey, you know, you don't look like you're from here. You might look like you might be from this area. I know about that area. I don't like that area. It can maybe affect some things. We'll try and see here. But going with this one gives us +1 to our dexterity, so that's awesome. Gives us starting with a saber and a little dagger here. We want to dual wield because we're a rogue, so we want to be hitting fast. A little bit of armor. That's not bad. And then our background, all these have different things for not these are not your main mechanics, your attributes. These are skill focused. So looking at these, we're just going to go with a drifter. This gives us a +1 to our stealth and to our survival. It gives you a little bit of story that can impact your game. You've got your hunter, you're hunting maybe people, you're hunting animals. Mercenary, you're looking for work around. You want to be explorer. Maybe you're an aristocrat. You are an escaped slave, possibly. But we're going to go with drifter. And we're going to change our colors around here. Let's see what this is. Our main one. That's our top piece. Let's go with wrong one here. Let's go with all black. We're a rogue. That's fine. And that's a good enough head. Actually, this first one's here good. As a elf, we don't have to have that long flowing hair. Let's look for a nice picture here. These are the godlike. These are human. Our monk. We might go back to the one we were on. Oh, that's good. Looks roguish. Good enough. And this isn't. Ooh, no. That's good enough. Ooh, I did not think of a name. We're just going to go with our own name here. That's good enough. And let's get into the game. We've got our character here. I know I rushed through that. I didn't want to take too much time going through all of this. I wanted to get into the story and show you guys a little bit of what's going on here. So this is the Gilded Vale. This is the land that we're from, or we're in. Oops, let's pause this. What's going on here? Um, not quite sure what's happening here. Oh, my green screen randomly popped on. That's awesome. There we go. Sorry about that. It just froze up. So they have a lot of these are voice cuts or dialogue. Some of them aren't, but this is just kind of describing the interaction of what the person's doing. And I'll read some of these off to you.
Tonight, everybody stays put. In the morning, we'll get the path clear. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
He frowns, looking at us.
Lovely rock, could be. There's a stinging beetle around here carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your entrance. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case, you'll be dead.
What I say? Water. Important.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a finger. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. Might check around, see if you can find some. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. Let's see about refilling our water first. Got a signal.
So we can ask some questions, but we're gonna go ahead and say, "I'll look for the berries."
Someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. If you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
Okie doke.
Kalisha.
Kalisha. That sounds like a good name.
Needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
Oh, that's very nice.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Often, Theoden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. If you get so much as a tickle of wind, drop everything and you run. Something in the air. To be a wick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Alrighty.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. This is your first time visiting the world of Era. You may want to watch these windows to become familiar with your tools and interface. Alright, so we're going to skip over that. So we can have 5 companions at a time. Let's skip over this. I'm a little familiar with the controls. So let's see who we've got here. We have Kalisha. She's got a nice battle axe, and she's probably a fighter. She's got a knockdown ability. We have our 2 weapons, a saber and a dagger, and we've got our blind ability. So we're gonna have her probably lead things.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear that seams his tunic.
Wagon full of goods to sell. I've shirts. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale. Like to take a look.
Let's see what you got. He's got a lot of weapons here. Let's skip over the tutorial messages for now. We'll figure it out as we go. So we've got 100 gold, no camping supplies. Let's go ahead and leave. Let's go find these berries. So we've got our map here. This is where we are right now. We can go down this way or up this way. Let's go ahead and go up top here. One nice thing you have, you've got a formations button, and you can put them in whatever direction you're looking, which is actually important. This little button down here, you can set up different formations. As your party grows, obviously you don't want your wizard up front. He's weak. He's casting spells, which are powerful, but he's not tanky, so if you get in a fight, he can get killed pretty easy. Let's see. Let's put him in single file. Ooh, we do not want him up front.
All right, follow me.
Let's see if that did it. There we go. We'll have her go up front. We can fast forward things so it'll look like they're running, or we can play in normal mode, or we can go in slow mode. So let's go talk to this gentleman.
Water soon enough. The stream's not going.
All right. Let's just follow this road up here. Oh, what do we find here? This path swims through a narrow canyon.
Straight too far.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Let's check by those outcroppings. Stay quiet.
I don't know what that noise is. Like it sounded like an arrow just stabbed us. Alright, so game pause. Scouting mode is used for both stealth and for hiding hidden objects like traps or secret containers. Moving toward a character accelerates quickly, however. Alright, we'll skip over that. So we're going to send you over that way, and we'll send you on in to go trip the bait. Alright, so let's have you fight.
What you need?
We gotta turn off the tutorial. There's a way I can do that here. Nope. Alright, we'll figure it out later. So we're in combat here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Looks like just some basic wolves. Every game's got its, you're level 1, you're fighting simple things. We're fighting wolves. We're going to kill them. Let's see what here. She's got the knockdown ability. We can use it twice per encounter, it says. It's not got a very good accuracy, but if we do, it's going to knock the enemy prone. So let's go ahead and try that out on this young wolf. And we'll have this guy here flank around. He's getting his sneak attack in. Ooh, she got him with that. Very nice. So we took him very, very good. Let's see what we did here. Nathan did 30 damage. He got a sneak attack. That's what I'm saying. You get that sneak attack, you're going to do a ton of damage. So that's what we want him to do. He's a rogue. Let's see what we can find on him. Wolf hide. Awesome. Holding our tab button over here, we can see things in the area. And oh, we found our berries. That was quick. Now we picked the drifter background, so she's picking up on that. She says, "You're kind of a mystery to the rest of the caravan, just some kind of wanderers the way I hear it." That's how she sounds, I promise. Let's remain a mystery for now and say that isn't your business. Suit yourself. Can't very well force you to have personality, can I? And it's been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. The Lord Redrick's office makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You settle here like the rest of the lot? I haven't given much thought. Well, let's just say we're passing through. That way we're not complete dick. That's usually the case with the big city. Just a little ways further up the road. Where are you headed? Nowhere special, just putting as much time and distance. Nope, we're not going to say that. That sounds bad. We're just going to get to the city and see where it takes me. Closest one is Defiance Bay, the capital. A few days out, got its nice place, and it's not so nice places. Same as any city. Let's go ahead and get on back. I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does have what he feels. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. down by the river. Down by the river. And took a little walk. Let's go see what he is doing. Spiritic. Found some berries. And that is the end of that way. Let's go back down this way here. Oh, here's our river. Uh-oh. We got a bridge. Which way should we go? Ugh. Alright, let's actually, let's move something real quick here. Just notice we're messing up. Let's throw this up top here. There, now you guys can see that a little better. And there. Let's go across the bridge. No, let's go down. Let's go down this way first. Oh, we found a deer. We didn't catch the deer. Travelers, maybe, or looters. Ooh, we found some bodies. Okay, so they're cold, so they've been dead for a while. Good thing it's not Spiritic. That's the end of over here. Oop, this guy's got something on him, though. So we found some lockpicks and leather armor. Let's take that junk. If you've ever played any video game ever, you know you take all the loot because you can go sell it. If you're not going to use it, at least. Let's go across the bridge.
What a surprise. Marvel went hunting. At least he left the watch scenes. Come on.
I want to know what that sound is. Sounds like there's an arrow hidden. It scares the shit out of me. Uh-oh, cinematic moment. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness in his gait. His stride wobbly as he moves towards you with a labored breath.
Sparkle, are you alright?
Oh no. Sparfell's toe catches at the rock. He collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. It's an ambush! Should have called it.
Ambush!
That's what I just said. Okay, so there's two of them. Not too bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to have her. This guy looks like he's a hefty fighter. If we mouse over them, if we have high perception, that's one thing we can notice about our enemies is their kind of defenses and whatnot, and our intellect. We can learn more about people. We've got this guy looks a little beefier. He's got a shield, so maybe he's going to be hefty. Can't see what this guy has. Might be a two swords or a bow, but let's send her on him. I'll send you over this way. All right, so this guy's got a bow. Let's try and take this guy out first. Alright. We're going to do a lot of micromanaging. On hard mode, we just be on top of things. So, we've got one good sneak attack in there for 20 damage. Let's go send you down here and blind the bowman. And let's try and knock down again on him. There we go. There we go. Took out both of them at the same time. Very nice.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Not after we loot the bodies.
What you need?
Poor Sparfell. He's not gonna make it. So let's get back to camp here. Uh-oh. Alright, so we got 3 enemies, 2 shield, 1 bowman. Let's tell her to lock him down. Nope, nope, nope. Misclick. let's blind the bowman and try and take him out. Now let's try and do another knockdown. Very nice. Took him out. There we go. Got a nice flanked on them. Very good. Ooh, get some good loot there.
What you need?
I'll send her back forward. We just don't know what we're gonna find. Ooh, we see dead bodies already, though. Hoden. Uh-oh. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed with filth. A handful of dark figures stand above a fallen tread of limbs and back heads. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Don't fight this man's life, or fight you'll lose. He's British. I like an old-timey British, I'm calling it. So now here, let's see, how are we... Oh, they got a guy still alive there. Alright, let's see, we could... Let's just ask him, well, why has he done it? We'll start off calm here. You have trespassed in places of which no mortal man is worthy. You are trespassers and plunderers all, and we will see this outrage avenged. So I say again, lay down your arms. Hoden, that is the guy that they're holding captive, says don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. Oh boy, what are we going to do? We are innocent in this. Will you not listen to reason? We could try. We've got a high enough might that we could try to say only a fool attacks a weak enemy with no, while a stronger one yet lives. We could ask them. We could put our weapons down or stay armed. These we don't have high enough numbers for, so let's go ahead and say. Let's go ahead and say this one here. Let's try the might. Man considers this looking up and down. Yet. He shoves Hoden down towards you, and as he does so, the man rakes his blade against Hoden's torso. He screams, stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing, begging to bloom crimson. Beginning, not begging. Learn to read. The man sets his foot to engage you. His axe raises high. Alright, so we've got another guy. He looks like he's a rogue as well. He's got 2 daggers, and he's got the blinding ability. So let's go ahead and tell him to blind this guy right here. We'll send her straight in to knock that guy down. And looks like this guy might be an archer, so let's go send him on him. Let's take the leader out quick. Maybe that'll demoralize him. There we go. Let's knock him down. And then we'll blind him. And then you can blind this guy. Let's go. Miss, miss, miss. Awesome. Good job, everybody. Alright, let's try and focus one guy. There we go. Get that sneak attack. I'm going to throw it down here into slow-mo so we can see things a little better. We'll try and do that for the next one. Your enemy lies sprung spine on the ground, unable to rise. Forgive us. Ooh, the winds are picking up. Barely audible breath, his choked sighs, a whisper of winds start to stir the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closed them. Good, good. The gods are just. I'm ready. The winds begin to swell, whipping around the camp electric and... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, seated on the wagon. Uh-oh, Odem. That is the guy that sent us out. He's the master. That does not sound good. Cutscene. Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rocks and set about pulling yourself up the with a last burn of energy before your arm gives out. You swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by the early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who has feigned death, lunges for head and topples him onto the rock's ground. Restrained, Hoden lashes out against the fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you, despite the winds from the position. If you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would give a good chance at hitting him with your mark. So we could throw our weapon at the attacker, we could try and throw a rock, or we can let Hoden do his own thing. I like keeping my weapon and not losing it, so let's try to throw a rock. We got a high dexterity. Your aim is true! And the rock hits jars Hoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hoden clambers up the base of the rocks. And as he nears the top, however, the winds flare, pulling him sideways and tearing him one of his hands free. Oh, wow. But driving out the rock, you manage to catch a hold of it, securing his other hand. You pull with weighing strength. It feels as though your arms will jerk from their sockets. Wookiees can do that. Look it up, Star Wars. They hold just long enough that Hoden sets his feet and they join you on the trembling ledge. There is a trembling resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it. The rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of their own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from bone. Each new guest managed to skip it. That's how you do it. You start to stumble on words as you're reading. So it looks like we're caved in.
That's me.
Uh-oh.
We're lucky to be alive.
We're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. I'm not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
He nods.
Hmm?
Alright, so let's see here. A lower level of ruins were cut off by the rubble.
That should be far enough. What now?
We look for another way out. The storm has to die sometime.
Let's get going. His knee buckles. Oh no, he's not going to be good. We need to get rid of this guy. On steady leg, he claws his way up the wall and back to his feet.
Could we maybe stay here and rest for hours? I've lost some blood. Seems quiet enough to the left. Good place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Godfathers were wild nuts. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
This is true.
I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna
Hmm.
die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back.
Tough decision part.
On the exit or a damn good place to hide.
I think we're gonna side with Kaliska on this one. I mean, he's a liability, but we got to get out. You know, sleeping. It's like kind of going to your enemy's house and you just sleep in there. They're gonna find you, right?
I'll do my best.
What you need?
So we build reputation with our party based on the decisions we make. But with that, we're actually going to come to a close on this. I wanted to do a quick, short introduction to this Let's Play. This is something I'm going to be sticking with and going forward. This is a very interesting game. I'm a little farther in on my own personal Let's Play, but I'm going to stop that one for now and do everything with you guys. So as I'm experiencing it, you're experiencing it, and we can kind of do the story together. One thing I do know is in this game you can actually create your own followers, companions. There are a total of 8 pre-made companions in the game. But you can create more You go to, you kind of like hire them, and then once you hire them, you can, click what race, what, like you're doing a new complete character for a new game. So if there's a class or race combination that you find interesting that you'd like to see me recruit, let me know in the comment section below. There was all those classes and races. Give me a name for them, and I'll try and go through and pick my favorite one or one that stands out the most, and maybe I'll try and add them in, and we'll have them as a companion. You'll get to see your own character in the game and play with us. But other than that, guys, feel free to tickle the like button. Helps me out, lets me know that you're interested in this, plus it gets me motivated to do more videos like this. But other than that, guys, thank you for stopping by. Stay nerdy, and have a good one.